Shalom Israel first. I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Kakdash. I want to see Apostle Elder Millstone. Peace and citation to one third of Israel. And for this lesson, it's going to be an in transit. It's going to be a quick video, but basically, I want to title it "It's Almost Here," or "It's Here," I should say. All right, and that what I'm referring to is the kingdom of heaven, in which we've been waiting for, basically from the beginning. All right, ever since we fell, we've been waiting to come back into power, or come back in our glory. And a scripture that comes to mind is Yahushua. He said, "Restore me." Basically, roughly paraphrasing, but restore me with the glory I once had. Because we understand that Yahushua, he fell, and when he came back as Yahushua, he basically atoned. He did what he had to do. And now when you read Revelation, it talks about how, all dominion, glory, everything is under his feet, And now he's just waiting for it to manifest here on the planet Earth, because the kingdom of heaven is going to be on Earth. It's not going to be in the sky, and everyone's just naked and shit, like fucking that Renaissance bullshit. Esau's gay ass paintings. Esau gonna be a slave in the kingdom. All right, because our kingdom, our heaven is gonna be his hell, just like how our hell, is his heaven. He's in rulership right now. So, and the Lord is gonna flip it. He's gonna do a whole, flipperoonie. All right, but really, what inspired this lesson was the brother. One of the head brothers, he sent a YouTube short, and it was basically like wood that looks gold, but it's like it's very precious. Like some of it goes for like 3 million, like that type stuff. All right, so and that's gonna be light for us in the kingdom, And let me just read the scripture real quick. Sirach 43. And 32, it says, "There are yet greater things than these be, for we have seen but a few of his works." So you look around the earth, or there's parts of the earth is like, damn, like that's amazing, like it's jaw dropping, But the Lord got more stuff in store that we don't even know about, Esau, he can see it from a distance, but not everything, That's why he be coming out with these posts. NASA just discovered 72 new planets way bigger than Earth, and that's inhabitable. Well, guess who that's for? That's for us, the nation of Israel. And to prove that, let's go to John 14:2. All right, John 14:2. It says, I'll start at 1. It says, "Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in the Most High, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you." All right. And scriptures say the Lord, he stretches the heavens like a curtain. So, bro, it's endless, And it has to be endless, because as a nation who's nigga shooting already, but as a nation whose glory is to be eternals, we just gonna be many most highs, as it says in Psalms 82:6, or I believe it's 82:6 or 82:5. It says it's 82:6. It says, "Ye are gods, but ye shall fall like children, like children of men," roughly paraphrasing. And it's because we're in these bodies, but we're gonna be changed. Like, just imagine a new body. That's gonna be heavy in itself. You're not gonna sin again. You're not gonna have to deal with ailments, sicknesses. You're not gonna ever sneeze, cough. You're not gonna have a headache. No types of ache, toothache, none of that shit, bro. That's gonna be a thing of the past. All right, and then it is right here. That promise in which our forefathers looked. It's here. It's literally at the door. Yahushua is at the door. All right, and that's what we gotta understand and believe. All right. Because we weren't brought here to be in captivity forever, because you look at our ancient captivities, there was a beginning and there was an end date. So how much more now? You know, there was a beginning, and now we're approaching the ending. That's why in Ecclesiastes it says, "Better is the end of the thing than the beginning of it thereof." All right. So, hey, we almost at that time, bro. You're not gonna have to be in a vehicle dealing with, you know, these dumbass drivers. You know, you're gonna be in chariots. All right. That's why Scripture says, "For we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are eternal, which are not seen, the things which are eternal and not temporal." Roughly paraphrasing. This is in 1 Corinthians. All right. And because when you come into the truth, you know, you can't have if you have a now mindset, you know, it's not going to take you far. You know, we have to be foreseers. We gotta see past this place. All right. You know, because you see the product of how guys that are just looking at the now, what they do, you know, to the doctrine. You know, they ultimately sell out. They want to be rich in this life. They want to gain their consolation here. All right. But bro, this is all about to fade away real soon. All right. But I had this scripture in mind. Psalm 73. Oh, these niggas are. What's that? One nigga gotta turn. Psalm 73, I believe it's 4. Alright, Psalm 73. Nah, it's not 4. It's 37 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Psalms 37 and 4 says, "Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart." And mind you, like, you know, Christians read over this and, you know, oh yeah, you know, desires your heart and this, that, and third, but it's because they look at now. They think this is it. This is as good as it gets. But bro, our kingdom about to be out of this world, literally. You know, we're gonna be able to space travel. We're gonna be able to live in other galaxies, planets. You want an underwater palace? Well, you can do that. You know, the possibilities are gonna be endless. All right. What does Scripture say? With men, all things. With men, it shall be impossible. With the Most High, all things shall be possible. Roughly paraphrasing. Yahushua spoke about it. All right. So we're gonna have spiritual powers, and the spiritual powers are gonna take place on this side as well. Be first. All right. But bro, we gonna be living. Bro, what the fuck is wrong with these niggas, bro? Niggas can't drive, bro. But so that's what we gotta keep our focus on. Our focus should be on the kingdom. You know, and this goes for me first and foremost. You know, we can't get too caught up. We can't get caught up in the now. Fuck getting too caught up. You know, obviously, you know, you gotta handle your stuff, but understand, like, hey, fuck it. We're gonna have to leave this shit anyways. This shit gonna get destroyed. Alright. So the Lord coming back, and it's real soon. You know, this vision is not a thing of far off. It's close. It's closer than ever. Alright. That's why you see the way the earth is moving. You know, for lack of better words. You know, prophecies are speaking loud and clear. You know, that's why this place is going to shit. All right, because this place it is ripe for destruction. All right. Revelation, it says, her iniquities have reached unto heaven. All right. So you really think the Lord gonna let this shit continue? Hell no. All right. So with that said, you know, I don't mean for this to be too long. I arrived at my destination. So hopefully it's well said and edifying. But with that, I want to give all praise, glory, honor to Yahweh, Bashim outside, Bashim Kakudash. Next time, shalom. I need it. What's up with it? I don't know. I'm just gonna go. YouTuber.